Well, different presenters, same concept.
Okay. Because had some a lot of useful information. I wish I had known at that age. I was paying attention because really I'm not. Because had some a lot of useful information. I wish I had known at that age. Cool. I think it's streaming.
So I'm making your
Post. I think it's streaming.
So I'm making your
All right, I'm in the course.
Just one thing, the page that you just had up there, you can download the application.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Edwards.
So there's one email sent out for this and another email sent out for downloading the application.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Edwards. Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Edwards.
So Nirmal, is the document
Now, my part is done. So the doctor has to accept that booking and confirm whether
Hi, good afternoon,
they are
Ms.
confirming the
Sampath.
booking or decline that.
Hi, afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Now, my part is done. So the doctor has to
Hi, Ms. Sampath, you are presenting or you're one of the moderators host?
No, I'm the moderator, and Andrea will be the one who's presenting.
Okay, so we'll make you co-host, right?
Okay, thank you.
So Darian,
Yep, I'm a co-host.
yeah, so Ms. Sampath, Darian is in charge tech support for this particular room, right? So anything you just communicate with Darian.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Darren.
No problem.
Thanks, Raj.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, my dear. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So you can let me know when I may begin.
Hi, good afternoon. Andrea Gopal will do the beginning of the session for you.
Okay,
Just
great.
sit tight for 2 seconds.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Andrea. Raj, can you enable my video, please?
Good afternoon.
Hi, today I give all of you co-hosts so you can share your videos.
Okay, thank you.
Choose video. I am not seeing, I'm not able to, okay. I think I did it now.
Yes, Andrea, we're seeing you.
Okay. Hi. Hi, I'm Andrea. I will be moderating today.
Good afternoon, Andrea.
Hi, you are from NTA?
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you. I know we have a little switcheroo. Let me just check it.
Hi, Miss McIntosh.
Hi.
It's Shapora.
Oh no, this switch is not for today, so that's okay. Right. So, hi, Shafora. You're familiar.
Definitely, Miss McIntosh is our go-to person for NTA. It's good to see you.
You too, thanks.
So, tell me your name.
I'm Malika McIntosh.
Malika McIntosh. Okay, nice. Will anyone else be joining you?
No.
We have Sophia. What is Sophia's last name? McIntosh as well?
Yes.
Yes, I know Miss McIntosh also.
Well, I know you would know most of the officers from visiting the schools. Yes. Okay, well, I think it's time for us to begin. I should.
We are streaming and live.
Raj, can you put the opening slide? The or it's up already. The advert. Okay.
But we have a screen sharing right now from NTL.
Trying to get my computer back on full screen. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Andrea Gopal. I'm your friendly guidance officer. I would like to welcome each and everyone today to our virtual career fair. Thank you for joining us, Form 6s from across the schools in Victoria District. We're happy that you can be with us. I'm sure that you will hear a lot of useful information today. And also, if you are not from Form 6 and you have accidentally clicked the wrong link, you can check back. There are links for Form 3s and a link for Form 4 and 5. So we would like to welcome our guest, first presenter from NTA today. Her name is Malika McIntosh, and we're going to turn right over to her. Welcome, Miss McIntosh.
Thank you, Andrea, Miss Gopal. Good afternoon to everyone who's joining us, to the Form 6 students. A good afternoon to you all. All right, so this afternoon, we are going to look at the topic, the world of work. All right, and we just have a short time with you, so we want to try to get everything in this afternoon. All right, so we will jump right in. Like Ms. Gopal said, I am Malika McIntosh. I'm the Career Guidance Officer here at the NTA. And usually what I do, what my unit does, we do career guidance with the students, all right? So from world of work to choosing your subjects, we try to help you prepare for career development and your career pathway. Okay, outside of that, the NTA is a much larger organization and they are responsible for TechVoc products and services. So anytime you think skill training, CVQ, technical and vocational subject areas, the NTA is involved somewhere in there. All right, so like I said, we're moving along quickly this afternoon so that we can get through most of the presentation. This afternoon, we want to help you look at criteria for joining the workforce, also to educate you on the resume and cover letter writing, assist you with interview skills and preparation for such, and also to facilitate any questions that you have about the world of work. So I know you all are Form 6 students, and soon enough you will be headed out of the secondary school system. And so it's either you are going into the world of work directly, or you may be going on to tertiary education, whether it be via university or a skill training institution. Now, often when we think resume and cover letter, we think these documents only need be prepared when I am applying for a job. We want you to prepare both documents before you even get to applying for the job, and also recognize that a lot of the universities and various institutions are also calling on you to have both documents prepared beforehand as well. All right, sometimes a university may ask you for your CV. They may also ask you for a letter of intent as to why you would like to study this particular area. And that is much like your cover letter. Two things that you want to remember: no fabrication on both documents. It means that keep everything accurate, keep everything truthful. All right, there are penalties for placing misinformation on your documents. Do not attach any of your certificates, that is the original certificates, students. These are expensive to replace, and so we warn you of attaching those documents and sending them in. So often when we are going to prepare our resumes, the first thing we go to is Google. And yes, that is one of the simplest forms. It's okay, by all means, you can access a template online. However, we want you to access the right template. When you are looking for a template for your resume, please look for a hybrid format, okay? And the hybrid format basically is a combination of your functional and your chronological. So your hybrid is going to take in both your skills and experience evidenced in the functional format, and also the timelines of your experience, which is evidenced in the chronological format. Okay, so it's just a combination of both functional and chronological. So when you are looking for your template online, make sure you are searching for a hybrid format. Okay, so these are some things to remember for your resume. You must have everything outlined in reverse chronological order. You must include your personal information, which includes your name, your address, a telephone number, and an appropriate email. And of course, your references. Okay, students, remember your standard English and good grammar. As students, I know, and as young people in general, we've become very comfortable in condensing text. All right, so and is now N. We no longer spell the entire word, we simply place an N. You want to avoid these kind of mistakes on your resume and cover letter. At the NTA, we are here. We will help you proofread and edit both documents. If you so choose, this is free of charge to you. So it's an offer that we hope you would take up on when you are preparing both your documents. Remember that your resume should be no longer than 2 pages, and that is not front and back, just 2 pages, front only. Take note of the font. Stick with your standard font. So that's Times New Roman. All right. No fancy borders, no colors are necessary. Yes, you want your resume to stand out, but you want it to be for the right reasons. Okay, so this is a sample of a resume, and this is something that we can send to your guidance officers. We have some brochures prepared as well that will outline all of the information that I briefly highlighted so that you can have it in front of you when you are going through, when you are actually preparing the document. Okay, so these are some of the subsections on your resume. We begin with your personal information, and just a few notes here. Remember your telephone number. 1, make sure that it is your number, and also double check that number to ensure that it is the right number. A lot of persons miss opportunities because they may have mixed up a couple numbers, or they would have forgotten a number in typing. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. And also your email address. Keep it professional, students. Use your first name and your last name, and if need be, a couple numbers. All right, you do not want to use any nicknames, no hot sexy chick or bad boy from South. We don't want any of those. This is an indication of who you are. Remember, the employer has not met you, they don't know you, and so what is on your resume will be very telling about the type of person you are. So keep it professional. When you look for a template online, sometimes you get ones that indicate career summary, and there's a whole paragraph to fill in. Look for one that has career objective. This is just one sentence indicating what you want to achieve, and that is the job. Name the title, the position, put that in your career objective, because that is the goal, to acquire that position. Next, we have education and qualification, and then we have the work experience right under. For each of these sections, you must list the name of the organization, so that is what is bolded. So under education and qualifications, it will be your school. Under work experience, it will be the organization you worked for. And then you are going to give details about either the qualification or the experience. When it comes to the experience, you must list your position and at least 3 duties you performed in that position. Okay? You will see that we have time frames, and this is what is meant by reverse chronological order. It must be in that particular order. Everything that you list should be done in a reverse order or a backward order. So you will list what you achieved in 2021 first, and then you will place what you would have achieved in 2020, 2019, 18, and so forth. So you are simply placing your most recent achievements and working your way backwards, whether it be qualifications or work experience, you utilize that order. All right. As secondary school students, you are going to have to list your subjects both at the CAPE level and the CSEC level. You're going to have to list out which subjects you would have passed. When you get to tertiary education and you are now a degree holder, or maybe you have a diploma, you no longer have to list your subjects. You can simply say 6 CAPE subjects and 7 CSEC subjects like this person has indicated, and that would be okay. All right, so after your work experience, you see awards or recognition. You must be able to name the organization and the date. Similarly, your professional affiliation, organization, and date. Co-curricular activities, it's not the same as hobbies. You must be able to indicate an organization, your role in the organization, and tell us the time frame. Then we have your special skills. This includes skills that you would have acquired along the way. You may not have certification for it, and that is okay, but you do have the know-how, knowledge, all right? So it might be the ability to use Adobe Illustrator. You might be able to do some sort of graphic design. It might be use of accounting software. You might know how to type 90 words a minute. Those are special skills that you can place on your resume. And finally, you close with your references. Place at least 2 references on your resume, which includes the individual's name, their contact information, that is an email or a telephone number, and their profession as well. Stick to professional references, meaning use a past teacher, past principal, past employer. Stay away from family members or neighbors, etc. Yes, these persons know you, but they may not be able to give a professional account of who you are. All right, so that in a nutshell is the resume. When you cross over to your cover letter, we want you to remember these things. First and foremost, think about who you are professionally. So the cover letter is not just talking about yourself, you know, as a person or individual, but more so in relation to the profession or the position that you are applying for. All right. Do not reiterate what is on your resume. So don't go back and tell the employer how many subjects or which subjects you have. It's already on your resume. Okay, remember the use of your standard English, good grammar, double check, edit, send it to the NTA. We can help you with it. Your cover letter is just 1 page, front only. Again, remember your fonts, no fancy borders, no colors are necessary. And this is a rundown of what the cover letter looks like. It is a letter, and so it follows the format. As such, you have your contact information at the top, a date, and then the employer's contact information. In the age of technology that we live in, you have no excuse. You can find that information. If you are responding to a vacancy ad, then the information will be given. You open with your salutations, your greetings. Your first paragraph should always tell the employer your purpose, all right? And the purpose is you want a particular position. Make it clear, state it in your first paragraph. Tell the employer exactly which position you are interested in and applying for. All right, your middle paragraph is where you get to really describe more about yourself. And I usually tell students, go for the employability skills that you possess. So employability skills are really the things that employers are looking for in employees. All right, so your soft skills, your communication, are you a team player? Do you have organizational skills? Are you a problem solver? Can you work on your own? All right. Those are things that you want to explore and also be able to express on paper. All right. Some of your interests as well as it relates to the position that you are applying for. And then you have your final and closing paragraph, which is where you thank the employer for the opportunity or for considering you. And then you will reiterate your contact information. Let them know you are available for an interview and how they can contact you. You will close with that complimentary line, respectfully yours. You have a handwritten signature if it is a hard copy, or just a typed signature if this is a soft copy document. All right, so again, in a nutshell, this is your cover letter. We want to move on to your dress code, which is very, very important. So after you've sent in both your documents, you are now selected for an interview. And the dress code is just as important as the interview itself. Okay, so before you have the opportunity to speak, your attire is going to introduce who you are. All right. Do not wait until you have an interview to decide on what you will wear. You must always have this outfit set aside. And again, for persons who think interviews only come in the world of work, a lot of universities now are requesting that you do an interview before they accept you. All right, so your interview may come well before you actually enter the world of work. So prepare. Also remember that your hairstyle, your jewelry, and makeup are all a part of your attire. Don't forget those things. The success of your interview may very well depend on your dress code. All right, so this is just a visual of some of the do's and don'ts. So you have the hair. What we recommend in terms of hair, ladies, just keep it neat and away from your face. So even if it is down, think of it as if you are going to get your passport picture done or even your ID card picture. You want to be visible. The entire face should be visible. So keep the hair neatly groomed and out of your face. We suggest that you go with a nice suit, whether it be a pantsuit or a skirt suit. Choose that over something more casual, all right? Knee-length skirt, no mini skirts, all right? If you're wearing a skirt, choose the stockings, wear dark colored shoes that match your outfit. So we are suggesting that you go with dark colors for your suit as well, black, navy blue, gray, etc. Okay? These can only help and not hinder. So remember, no jewelry that is too large or distracting. When it comes to even your makeup, keep it minimal. Keep the colors light and simple. Similarly with your clothing, no bright or distracting patterns, no capris and things like that, and no open toe shoes, not at all. Most organizations have a policy about this. Okay, so these are just some of the things that we want you to remember as it regards your attire. And for the gentlemen, the same as it regards the hair, neatly groomed, which means take a shave, take a mark. If you do have long hair, you want to consider the profession that you are entering. So for example, if you are applying for the police service, air guard, coast guard, any national security service, most likely you will be required to cut your hair. All right, that is just one of the rules that they possess. And so considering which career you are stepping into is important for how your grooming is going to go. We suggest no earrings, young men. All right, go with a suit. Again, you may not wear the jacket, but your shirt and tie, long sleeve shirt and tie is important and we recommend it. Dress socks, dress shoes, matching with your belt, we recommend those. Stay away from the patterns. Keep the facial hair to a minimum. Do not utilize anything that is distracting. Don't roll up your pants. Don't forget your socks. Okay? So after you have your visual, okay, or your attire sorted out, so this is what people will judge you on even before they have the opportunity to speak to you, all right? But then you have what we call non-verbal communication. So again, another point at which you will be judged without actually getting to say anything. So your nonverbal communication transfers a lot of information without you actually speaking. So it includes your eye contact, if you make eye contact at all, your facial expression. Some of us have no control over that. We have to practice. Even our nervous habits and behaviors. Some of us, fiddle with our fingers, we play with our hair. You have to be careful. Your gestures. Sometimes someone asks you a question and you simply shake your shoulders. You shrug instead of actually saying something. You have to be careful. You might roll your eyes. Again, we have to be careful. Trainees tend to stoop at every point for no reason. This is a nonverbal gesture that we have to practice buckling down on. With your greetings, we usually would extend a handshake, but at this time, due to COVID-19, not anymore. Your posture, how you take a seat, shoulders back, head forward, it presents a confident person as opposed to someone who slouches, whose head is facing downwards, or if you are looking up, it would suggest that you aren't engaged or may not be paying attention. The gait or your stride is very important, especially for the young men, because we tend to bounce and hop and drop with it. And you want to be careful because some persons might make a snap judgment that may not be you at all. All right. So before you have the opportunity to speak, your nonverbals, they are going to say plenty about you as well. So pay attention to your nonverbal communication. Okay. And then finally, well, not finally, before we go to our final slide, you have a visual here. So these are some of the other nonverbals. When you cross your hands, sometimes it can relay the message that you might be aggressive, you might have an attitude. Ladies, it might, if you place your hands on your waist, it might indicate you are defensive. Try to remember not to place your hands in your pockets. Sunglasses are not allowed in the interview, neither is the hat. So we want to avoid those. There's nowhere to hide when we go into the interview. All right, so just remember some of these nonverbal cues that may say things that you do not want communicated. And finally, of course, we've come down a pathway. All right, so it's been a lot of nonverbal. You have your documents, your resume, your cover letter. The employer has never met you. Then they finally get a visual. They see who you are, how you are dressed. They recognize your nonverbal communication, but then you finally have the opportunity to speak. Okay, so this might make or break your entire interview. So you want to be very careful. Communication is actually the #1 employability skill. All right, so you want to practice, work on your communication. How you make use of the English, of standard English. We've been taught it all our lives. Make use of it in your interview. All right, be professional, be courteous. This means to everyone, to the security guard, to the receptionist, to persons you pass in the hallway in that organization. Extend the same professionalism and courteousness to all persons. Your interview will actually begin the moment you step onto a compound, not just when you get into the interview room. So refrain from using slang or colloquial English. We are quite comfortable with it, but you don't want to greet the employer like, yeah, dog, boy, horse, okay? Remember that one. Use your standard English, forget all of the slang that you know. And practice makes perfect. So you can, yes, go to Google and review a list of commonly asked questions. I know for certain 95% of the time, your first question may very well be, tell us a little bit about who you are. And there are many adults who actually cannot answer that question. So practice while you have the time. Begin learning how to describe yourself, how to speak about yourself in a professional manner. All right, so you want to also prepare by getting acquainted with the organization. Go to their Facebook page, go to their website, learn as much as you can about the organization, what they do, and about the position that you are applying for, okay? And don't be afraid to ask your questions. I know one of the main questions students often want to ask is about salary. And the question is whether you should ask or not. Yes, of course you can. If your salary has not been made known to you, it's one of the questions that you want to ask. Don't make it your first question, but put it in a series of questions, all right? So getting to know the organization so you can ask questions about the organization, and a follow-up will be about salary as well, okay? So feel free to ask your questions of the employers. So this is just a bonus tip for us, all right? Because of the changes that have occurred in the world of work due to COVID-19, a lot of things have, changed. We have the new normal now, and so we have to adjust, all right? So your resume and your cover letter may be requested via email or through some other online portal. So you want to make sure that after you prepare these documents, you don't just print it and discard it. You send it in and then you no longer have a copy. When you complete, you email it to yourself, you send it to your phone, you save it on your laptop, your computer, place it on a flash drive. Make sure that you always have it handy, even if you have to send that in via WhatsApp, which is something that employers are doing today, all right? If you are using some job hunting portal, like we have Caribbean Jobs, you have Jobs TT, one of the things that you can do is actually upload your resume and your cover letter, and they will keep it there and they will send the jobs that are most relevant to you, all right? So you can now begin registering with these kinds of organizations, the online organizations, and sending your resumes through these portals as well. So always have it soft copy, not just hard copy formats. Your certificates may also be requested online. So therefore, you have to have those in soft copy format as well. So when you get your certificate, you are going to have to scan and save all of these documents. Again, keep it in an email, send it to someone trusted, put it on your phone, have it on the laptop, on the flash drive, so it is always at hand if you need to have it there. Now, your interview may also be done online as a result of COVID-19. Okay, so what you can do, all of the tips that we've talked about this afternoon, the same thing applies. Not because it's online means that you get to dress down or, just go with the flow. Some persons don't ever turn on their camera for Zoom or any other online forum. In the interview, you will have to turn on that camera, and so you are going to use all of the same pointers, the same applies, even though it is online, all right? Get familiar with your different platforms. So there's Zoom, there's Google Meet, there's Microsoft Teams, quite a few of them. And we want you to know just a little bit or just enough about each platform so that you can use it. All right, if it so happens that the employer is using a platform that you may not be so familiar with, you at least want to know how to get in and out of that meeting, okay? So familiarize yourself with the various platforms, and if you are requested to meet in person, remember the safety protocols. Do not get to the organization and realize you have no mask. They need to be with you, on you at all times. Sanitization is key. And remember your social distancing. Sometimes we forget all about it and we go to extend a hand, or we might be nervous and we try to give a bounce, etc. So you want to remember all of these safety protocols, including your social distancing. All right, students, so this in a nutshell. I know we would have gone through each slide briefly, and it was so that we can cover everything this afternoon. And we want to leave the remaining time that we have, just about 9 minutes now, okay, for any questions that you may have, anything that I may need to go over with you. You can feel free at this point in time to voice those. I also want to leave you with our contact information. Remember, I said when you complete your resume and your cover letter, you can feel free to send it to us at the National Training Agency. So you can call us up. You can contact us at 672-7107. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. We also have a YouTube page where you can view some of our presentations as well. And you can email us those resumes and cover letters to have someone review them and help you with your corrections. All right, so I want to turn over to your guidance officers. I am sure they will be fielding the questions, or if you yourself have questions on behalf of the students, now is your time.
Thank you, Ms. McIntosh. Yes, we do have a few questions. I just want to know if you could just leave your contact information up.
Sure.
While we're asking the questions. Now,
Okay.
a lot of the times students, they are unaware of how to do the application letter. You've gone through it, but can we use any templates online, or would you recommend a specific template or a site to go on to get a template for a resume and application letter? And are there different types of formats for different organizations?
We don't have any websites per se that you can go to, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. If you are looking for a template online, most of them would come from outside of Trinidad and Tobago, those that are free. If you do start looking for one specifically in Trinidad and Tobago, most likely you will run into an organization that is offering you the service, but it won't be free. All right, so yes, you may go to the World Wide Web, use Google, whichever search engine, and look for a template. But when you do so, make sure you are looking for a hybrid format. That's the format that we recommend, because it's going to give you the combination of functional and that chronological. So you're going to get a template that will include the time frames that we saw on the resume. So it's going to include the reverse chronological order that we talked about, and it's also going to include your work experience as well as your educational and qualifications, those subsets. All right, so you want to make sure you are looking for the hybrid format when you Google it. So don't just Google resume format, make sure you Google hybrid resume format. All right, now when you do this, you are going to run into a lot of different formats, or not formats, but templates. Okay, so some of them won't have, they won't all look the same. All right, so they may be organized differently, but what is important are the key points that we noted: your personal information at the top, your career objective must be in there, not a summary, but an objective, which is just a mere line or two sentences. All right, the reverse chronological order, that's important, and then the definition of your skills or duties based on the work experience that you have. So those are the key things that you are looking for when you choose a format. All right, so we are looking for one, the hybrid resume format, and then you look through it to make sure it includes those key things. You don't want to use a resume format that gives no reference to your time frames. All right, the employer wants to see the time frames. You don't want to use one that is not going to tell us anything about the skills or duties. You have to include those. And of course, you are not going to use one that does not supply us with your contact information, or rather your personal information at the very top of it. All right, so I hope that helps us.
Very much, thank you. I have another question for you, Ms. McIntosh. As you were speaking earlier up in the presentation, I heard you use the term soft skills. Would you just like to elaborate on that for the students? What are soft skills?
Great, that's a Great question. So we have soft skills and we have what we call hard or technical skills. So students, your CSEC and your CAPE certificate or any other qualification you acquire along the way, they will be looked at as your technical skills, all right? So if you gain skills in any area at all, whatever career you choose, those are the technical, the hard skills, okay? Practical things that you can do, that you know about. However, important to the world of work and to the employer are your soft skills, or what we call sometimes your employability skills. So these things may not be evidenced by a certificate. These things are skills that you have acquired and you can only now demonstrate, all right? So for example, I said one of the key or one of the most important would be your communication. That's very important in the world of work, how you communicate with others, your superiors, suppliers, you know, the general public. That's important to an employer. Other skills would include things like leadership qualities, your ability to organize, your ability to problem solve. Again, your soft skills refer to these things that are not on a certificate. They cannot be evidenced by any piece of paper, but the employers expect that you would have learned these things over time, and through practice, you can also demonstrate them in the world of work. All right, so not only are your hard skills, the certificates, those aren't the only important things. The soft skills are also very important.
Thanks very much. That really clarified for those looking on. And we just have time for one last question. Ms. Sampath?
Yes, a student is asking, how do they write their resume if they have no work experience?
Oh, great. That is also a great question. So if you do not have any type of work experience, sometimes, yes, you may hear, okay, this is something that you can omit. However, I don't recommend that you simply leave the section blank or omit it entirely. What you can do is utilize either any volunteer experience you may have, or even if you have, a lot of students do summer jobs. So you have worked during your July, August vacation. That is also experience that you can utilize. So whether it be paid or unpaid, as long as you can tell us the name of an organization that you would have worked with or for, it might be a church, it might be a school, it might be a small store, you can indicate that and tell us some of the duties, the things that you would have either learned or skills that you would have learned as well, all right? So even if it is not paid experience, it's not something that you would have gained monies for, you can use it for work experience, and that is completely understandable as a student coming directly out of secondary school. But it's important that you place something there that is evidence of your work ethic and your capabilities as well. All right, so
okay, thank you. Just one follow-up with that. As there's the COVID-19 and the pandemic, a lot of students wouldn't have the opportunity to have the volunteer experience that they would. How do they put that, the 1 year of missing any volunteer experience, how do they put COVID-19 or pandemic on a resume?
Now that's actually something novel, right? It's actually new to us all. So where we would have been able to do the July, August work experience or maybe some sort of volunteering, we no longer have that opportunity. And so for the students who are really living through this period of time, it's novel, it's something new, it's something we don't know what it looks like because we don't have it on record in the past. But I would imagine that employers would be understanding of if it is noted on a resume for a time period. However, for students, I would still suggest that you would be attending sessions either with various universities or with your schools, different organizations, maybe acquiring skills. Maybe you would have done something where you gain some certificate of participation and things like that, use those things on your resume. Highlight it as much as is possible. The skills that you are acquiring through these various sessions, it's going to be important to the employer to note, even amidst all of the COVID-19 pandemic situations that we have.
Thank you very much, Ms. McIntosh. And as we close, I was even thinking during the COVID time, some of you may have volunteered to distribute hampers and stuff with your church or your police youth group and stuff. That will be important experience. So Ms. McIntosh, on behalf of Student Support Services, we want to thank you very much for joining us today. Your information was extremely vital, and we know that it will be useful for the students. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us this afternoon, and we wish all of the students best of luck in their endeavors. Thank you.
Hi students, in a few minutes, Sport TT is going to come on as our next presentation. So just hold on for a few minutes before we get started. Thank you.
Students, we encourage you to stay on. This is a good time if you need to take a bathroom break. We are awaiting the entrance of our next presenters, who are supposed to be the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago. So we hold on to them, and they will be with us briefly. Students, we encourage you to stick around as we await our next presenter. If you need, now is a good time to have a bathroom break. Our next presenter would be the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Ramcharan, can you put up the music slide in the meantime? Thank you.
Yeah, hold on, give me a sec.
So the would not able to join us today. And one of our guidance officers, Ms. Ali, is going to do a session with us about student support. Ms. Ali?
Hi. So today, in place of Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to do how to become a guidance officer or become an officer within student support services or any of the caring professions that are related to student support services. I'm going to hand over a little bit to Ms. Gopal, so she'll give you a general idea of the different careers that are available within guidance at this point in time and what we do.
Well, first, I would tell you all about Student Support Services Division. We are a specialized unit of the Ministry of Education, and we have four main units or divisions, four main units that come under us. So we are one of them, Guidance and Counseling Unit. We also have the Social Work Unit. We have the Special Ed Unit, and we have a unit that does assessment and intervention for various disorders and stuff like that. So within the student support services, there are a variety of careers. We would come under what is known as the social sciences. So for those of you who would be interested, social sciences. So we have jobs of guidance officers, school social workers, we have special education, we have aides, and we also have school psychologists in this division. Ms. Ali, did you have some slides that you wanted to share with us?
Just a little bit of technicality. I am loading it at present.
Okay, in the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit about what a guidance officer does. So essentially in our roles, our main and our first goal is to advocate on behalf of the child. So that means that we talk and we basically, if you don't have a voice, we have a voice for you. So sometimes you're shy or you don't know how to explain or express yourself. In the school system, we are placed in the schools, then you come to us and then we can be your voice if you feel that you don't have one. So getting into the guidance profession, as Ms. Gopal said, you need to have a social sciences degree. So many of us have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and for the majority of the guidance officers that are in the Ministry of Education, they have their master's degrees as well. So I think Ms. Ali is going to share some slides with you, so we'll be able to go through those. Thank you.
Take it away, Ms. Ali. Another very big part of the job of a guidance officer is dealing with careers and the world of work. So this is part of what this whole career fair is about, to give you direction, where you should go, what you should study after you leave school, and the options that are available out there to you. So that includes career counseling as well. This is another very strong area that we do, in addition to advocating for you in different ways. Ms. Ali?
I think she's still having some technical difficulties. So we will just continue to talk about what guidance does. So go ahead, Ms. Gopal.
So in addition to advocating for students in active ways with your school principal, with parents or community organizations, we also, and careers and the world of work, another thing we do is classroom sessions. So this is a surprising part of the job. Since most of us were trained in counseling and social work and stuff, yes, we do go to the classrooms and deliver sessions, because if we only spoke to you one-on-one in our office, you know, a school with 600 students, we'd hardly be able to do that with everyone. So there are some important issues that reach all students, you know, about the emotions, about careers, about many different things that all students will benefit from.
Yes, I think she should be ready to go. Miss Ali, are you ready to share your screen?
Yes, yes. Lovely, so much. Okay.
Close.
So I'm not going into the regular slideshow because there's some other technicalities with it, but we're going to stick with this because it has all the information. Great. So Ms. Gopal would have gone over already, stating that we are made up of social workers, special education officers, clerical staff. We have a behavioral psychologist on hand. We have a counseling psychologist on hand. That's our specialized team, the DAI. And then, of course, there are guidance officers who are based at the schools, social workers as well. And you can see that we started from, for the students, they will be way back. For us, it might not be so way back in 2004. And for our division, of course, the mission, as stated by Ms. Sampath and Ms. Gopal, is to help you all the students understand your potential, maximize your learning potential, and to do well, not only at school, but in life, and develop holistically, understand your strengths, what you need to work on, and to move forward on a lot of different things in your life, right? So our strategic goals. Definitely to increase student success by providing support. We offer brief counseling, although we are not the in-depth counselors that you would see. We don't have couches, you all don't lie on the couches and have that Freudian state, but we do offer assistance and helping you to understand certain aspects of your life. And we do have access to persons who have specialized intervention strategies. That's our DAI and our social workers. They are specialized in a particular field to help you all understand yourselves, right?
Ms. Ali, I just want to interject and just add in that we also do referrals. So if it is that you, the student, are not getting the assistance that you need, or if we cannot help you to the best of our ability, we refer you to persons who can assist. Thank you.
Yes, and on that rare occasion where you may be under suspension or extended suspension, let's hope that you don't get under extended suspension, or you're at risk. You're having difficulty at home, you have certain things that have you in the hospital, or you are experiencing some very stressful emotional times. It's one of those things is during the pandemic. We are here, even though we are online, we're still here. We work many, many hours with our students, right? And that is some of the things that you're gonna expect if you are to become a guidance officer, a social worker, or a part of the special education realm or DAI, right? Like I said, we offer specialized services. Teachers, yes, you can talk to the teachers, you can talk to your HODs, you can talk to your deans, but the counselor, the guidance officer, the social worker, they are there specifically for student development. So all students know that you have that one-on-one person there. Students with moderate and severe educational needs as well. That's our division for special education. Of course, the guidance officer is able to help briefly, but in depth, you have specific officers who are there to help you all with that, right? And then we move to psychosocial and behavioral difficulties. Your psychosocial and behavioral difficulties might be like, mild and slight psychosocial and behavioral difficulties, difficulty making friends, or communicating in a positive way, or maybe you may have sticky fingers and maybe picking up things willy-nilly, but still have some control over it. That's a slight, but severe and extremely difficult. You have some speech impediments. You may be forgetting often. You have difficulty sleeping. You have other things that may be affecting you that are just not so slight. We do have persons there, and that is what our social workers and our DAI officers and our special education officers offer. Our guidance officers, us, we are always there, and we are there to help you mitigate and negotiate. So when you come back from seeing those persons, we help you mitigate and negotiate on the compound or at home or anywhere else. We usually stand at the ready, right? Of course, we do have some level of diagnosis. We, the guidance officers, are able to diagnose mild, those little things that you could see behaviorally. The social workers, your special education officers, and your DAI officers, they do the in-depth intervention and diagnosis. Some of our guidance officers are able to do so. However, we need, because of our volume of students, we make sure that the students who are seeing severe issues or the severe behavioral aspects, they get targeted intervention. So if you are to become a DAI officer or counseling psychologist or behavioral specialist, you will be going to the in-depth. As a guidance officer, you will be looking at everybody in general on a whole. If I'm wrong with any of these, you don't need to let me know, right? Great.
Right. So Ms. Ali, I'm just going to interject for 1 minute to let the students know that with the assessments, we do refer for the assessments. A guidance officer can take your anecdotal information and give you anecdotal assessments so that you can get referred or assessed by a clinical psychologist or any other mental health professional in the case that you may need one. Thanks.
Thank you. Right, and you would see some of the duties as a guidance officer. If you aspire to become a guidance officer, and by the way, you don't have to be a guidance officer only at Ministry of Education school. There are many positions that follow the same role as a guidance officer. For example, at NT, Ms. McIntosh, who we had earlier on, she actually provides some of these facilities, but only in career counseling. The guidance officer does career counseling and additional things. So we, like it says on the list, we do have counseling services. We refer and we liaise with organizations who offer counseling as well. We do organize and conduct seminars and sessions. So this is actually a session and a seminar. It's a career fair, and it's something that we organize together. We work as a team to get that information out to you. We advise on counseling individuals or groups. So when we're having sessions online and we're having groups or we're having face-to-face, those are our group sessions. And then sometimes we might have small groups, so we'll have individual persons coming in to get information. Like Ms. Sampat explained about the assessment tools, and in our career counseling, we offer the students assessment tools to help them with their determining their self-interest, their strengths, their likes, their dislikes, what kind of career they want to have later on. And then we do compile a lot of information. We do collect a lot of information. A lot of times when we go to our career fairs, we collect information. We collect information for students on the whole. So you all could always visit your guidance officer. Could you get information on a lot of schools from abroad and locally, or you could get information on different careers. You could get information on different institutions, right?
Sally, just going to interject again.
Yes.
So yes, students, we also help with the international career aspect. So if it is that you are interested in going to schools abroad, we are the one-stop shop, if you want to put it that way, to get assistance or to help you answer any questions in talking about where you would like to go or how it is that you can get into schools internationally. A lot of our students look to go to school abroad, and one of the main things that they ask about is how do we get scholarships for schools abroad? So we as guidance officers help you get the information so you can get the scholarships, or if you want to know more about the SAT exam, or if you want to know more about each particular college or university, we can help you get the resources to get the information. Yes, Ms. Ali.
Yes, thank you. And that's the specialty of the guidance officer. And you would see that some of the list on the list, some of the other specialities that we do, that Miss Sampath just spoke about. Um, Now we're starting with the guidance officer. There are other persons as well. So if you aspire to become a guidance officer, understand what the job entails. And Ms. Sampath did speak to this before about the training that the guidance officer would need. Many times it's a degree in behavioral sciences, or there is a certificate in guidance and counseling that students can do. Some persons do come in with social work. That is a degree in behavioral science as well. And any experience in the guidance counseling field. So we have a colleague who works at WASA, who also disseminates information to students on that level. She's also equipped with a certificate in guidance and counseling and a degree in behavioral science. Remember, it is about disseminating information to a population, to students, to help them maximize their learning potential and encourage holistic development. All persons under the branch of student support services will function the same way. Social workers. Now, if you are a social worker, like I said, specialized, they conduct the interview of the students. They do interpret the information that's coming from teachers and guidance officers, and they look at the student situation from a larger view, understanding some of the socioeconomic and personal factors affecting the students' behavior, and they help to prepare the case histories. So they deal with specialized cases and they target certain behavioral changes that will help the students, right? Of course, we work very well with social workers. They also assess student needs. So you will see a social worker doing home visits at times. They create linkages and sources, community and governmental and non-governmental resources. Targeted intervention, like I said, guidance officers do the same. Social workers do specialized work. They participate in the delivery of parent education sessions. So you may find that your social worker will be present having parent sessions as well, right? And knowledge of the Children's Act, Sexual Offences Act, and as well as any act that is linked to the development of children. Knowledge is definitely required in those fields to become guidance officer, social worker, special education officer, or DI officer, right? And the minimum training for a social worker is that of a degree in social work. When you become a social worker with a degree in social work, you are signed up with a guild, if I may say, of social workers in Trinidad and Tobago, and having that qualification does allow you to become a social worker in many different areas, right? And
Ms. Ali, I'm just going to interject again.
yes.
The qualifications to get in, to become a social worker. So UE has the bachelor's program to become a social worker. And well, if you would like to do the guidance counseling, there's a certificate in guidance counseling that is offered by the University of the West Indies and University of the Southern Caribbean, I believe, Ms. Ali, is that correct?
Yes, very much so. Accredited institutions that are offering services. Hey, hey.
Hello, is it live now?
No.
No, not yet, but let's just give it 2 seconds. Let's see if anything changes.
And remember, students, that whenever you're watching this, adapt. And don't worry with the challenges. Things will happen as they should, right? We'll move forward.
Yes, we go with the flow. No, sir, it's not coming up.
Okay, I'm just going to pass the administration back to Mr. Ramnas and he will reboot the stream completely.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's see. Okay, I think we're back on. Right. So we have, let's continue. And we just have a few more minutes. I'm just going to read out some of the specialized careers within our field. Special education teacher 1, special education teacher 2, special education resource aide, interpreter, assistant psychologist. Of course, I spoke about the counseling psychologist that we had before. Speech and language pathologist. We do have persons who help with speech and language, and occupational therapists. Those persons who are special education resource aides, they are the persons that you may see the most with students who have obvious challenges within the school. So we do have students who are visually impaired in some schools. So we have a resource aid with those persons. The interpreter, of course, is the person. For example, if you are deaf, you're hearing impaired, the interpreter may be the person that's doing that. Speech and language pathologist is that specialized person. Individuals who go to the speech and language pathologist, the occupational therapist as well. And then we move to other positions that we may have here: audiologist, community pediatrician, I'm sorry, physiotherapist, and an ophthalmologist, right? Now let's go to the special education 2. So if you would like to become a special education 2, there are 2 levels. You're responsible for the assessment and of learning environment for the individuals and helping to create and develop management or intervention strategies for the students, and to assist the students with their learning and behavioral difficulties that they may be experiencing within the learning environment. So the special education teacher works with parents, teachers, the community, persons assisting with the alternative programs. So other organizations that may be assisting the students. And to become a special education teacher, you need a master's degree. Can't go with just a degree. You need a master's degree in special education. We do have special education being offered at UWI as well. You need a certificate in teaching. So you need to understand how to relate to the student well. You need to do that. And teaching is one of those careers that pushes that relation, that skill. Of course, for student support services, the minimum of 5 years experience in teaching. So best case scenario. Yes.
Yeah, I think we are ready for the other presenters to begin.
Almost.
So,
okay.
So if you could just tidy up, and then we will continue. Thank you.
Right. Of course, a lot of these you can find from your guidance officer, because the guidance officer should be aware of all of the careers that are under the umbrella of Student Support Services Division. So, and if you don't have a guidance officer at your school, you can talk to your teacher. The teacher can lead you on to contact the guidance officer, or you can go on to MOA's site and you will actually see all of the positions that are available under Student Support Services Division. another website that you could go on is onet.com. So you could type in, when you go into there, there's a search bar that you can type in the occupation and it will give you the background, the personality that is required, the environment that the person works in. And you could also go on to Jobs and Career Coach TT, which is also a part of NTA, National Training Agency, and they will help you with some of those careers. So I'm
Very much, Miss Ali.
hope you understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all that useful information. Careers at Student Support Services. At this time, we would like to welcome our guests for our next session from SBCS Global Learning. We want to welcome you. We see we have a few of them here online with us, and we will ask them to introduce themselves as we turn over. I am Andrea Gopal, your friendly guidance officer. I will be hosting you today. And along with me is my team, Miss Julia Sampath, Miss Shafora Ali Idu, Mrs. Shafora Ali Idu, and Miss Helen Miraj. So we welcome you and look forward to what you have to say to us this evening. Welcome.
Right. Okay, thanks very much, Andrea. Well, my name is Navin Lalan. With us today, we have quite a number of members of the team from relevant academic departments. We have Melissa Edwards representing accounting ACCA. I see we have Kestan Chandler as well. He handles the computing, engineering, and health and safety programs at SBCS. Renee Ashman, she deals with the media and graphics. And I believe we should have one other, Aziza Abdul, joining shortly. She would be regarding the business programs and purchasing and supply. So today, well, we have a very quick introduction and a presentation that the students could read by, and then after, I believe it's a Q&A part as well. So just to give everyone a quick overview, today's presentation will include, reasons why to choose SBCS. This month actually marks our 34th anniversary. We have a short message as well from the Executive Director, Dr. Robin Maraj. Top reasons why to study with SBCS, why to study online as well during this pandemic. This has been the norm, the transition from face-to-face to online. So we'll discuss that a bit. We'll also have an overview of the programs that we offer. It's a wide range, ranging from accounting, business, computing. We have engineering, as I mentioned, health and safety, and the media and design. The presentation would include as well how to, register with us, a brief look at a past graduation. So the students have an idea, exactly of the full experience here with SBCS. And other than contact infos and so on, you'll have in the end there, the question and answer segment where the team will be happy to answer accordingly. Right, so without further ado, I'll share my screen and start the presentation. Andrea, once that's fine, and we'll take it from there. It should be about 10 to 12 minutes long.
Yes, please do. Take it away.
Right, yes, no problem.
I'm delighted to have the opportunity to communicate to you, our valued stakeholders, today on our 34th anniversary. Over the past 3 decades and 4 years, we have influenced and shaped the lives of many thousands of students. And nothing still equates to the joy that we feel on learning about the successes of our graduates. It has been and continues to be a true honor and privilege to serve the national and regional community. The pandemic has ushered in a new chapter in the SPCS GLI story. The vast majority of our courses are now being taught either via highly interactive live online classes or blended learning. Up to this point in time, the feedback from our students, lecturers, and course administrators has been extremely positive. We are still shaping and influencing lives, so our technology is now playing a much more important role in delivering our services to our students. The educational landscape is being radically altered, if not upended, and no one can say with any degree of certainty what form the new environment will take in the future. Over the past few years, there have been a few notable turning points in our story, from pre-gate to the gate era, to no-gate and pre-pandemic era, to no-gate and pandemic era. The post-pandemic era approaches, and it goes without saying that educational institutions will have to adapt and transform to suit the needs of this new world that is taking shape before us. In 1987, we were known as School of Business and Computer Science. However, today we are known as SPCS Global Learning Institute. This change in our title has not affected the underlying philosophy of our existence. However, it has brought our title in line with our expansion to the many areas outside of the sphere of business and computer science. Today, SPCS GLI is known for its variety of courses in a wide array of areas such as business, accounting, IT, engineering, graphic design, mass communication, health and safety, public health, electrical installation, plumbing, AC and refrigeration, auto mechanics, hybrid and electric vehicles, agriculture, nutrition and wellness, early childhood education, psychology, and more. In addition, leveraging our expertise in hybrid and electric vehicle technology, we have established at our Champlains campus a fully equipped hybrid and EV service facilities. A great many changes have taken place since 1987, and while the next chapter of the SPCS GLI story is still to be written, we can promise you, our valued stakeholders, that we are as committed as we were 34 years ago at the beginning of our story to delivering an excellent service, be it in the form of great teaching and learning to our students or the services offered to our clients through our HEV facilities. Stay safe and keep well.
Okay, thank you, guys. Well, as you see, it was a quick, overview of exactly, what we offer at SBCS GLI, the relevant pathways. If you're from CSEC or the CAPE level, you would have seen, look at the campus. Usually, we would have the annual career fairs as well, and even a look at the graduation, of what to expect. So I would pass you guys over to Ms. Aziza Abdul, who will share some further information. And I guess if we have any questions, we will see in the chat as well. All right, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I just want to welcome you all to our presentation for SBCS Global Learning Institute. If you all have any questions, we will accept them now. And between myself and my colleagues who are present today, we'll be able to address any questions you all may have concerning, furthering your career at SBCS or your education, that is.
Hi, you all are ready to answer questions from students, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question we have from one of our students is they want to know about the closure of the South Campus, number one. Will they have to, if they choose to go to SBCS, is it that they have to physically go to the campuses in Champlain or Tri-City? And then are the online classes going to continue even after the COVID pandemic?
So yes, our South Campus is closed, unfortunately, but registration can be done online. So you don't physically have to come to the campus. You can send us an email and we'll be able to connect with you via email. And in terms of whatever program you're interested in pursuing, we'll be able to guide you along the way. In terms of classes, right now, due to the pandemic, all our classes are online. So we do have that facility available, even though if it is you can't physically come to the campus, all our classes for our upcoming semesters will be online.
And after the pandemic, will they still be online, or the students will have to go to the North campuses who live in the South?
Yes, they will have to come to the North campus. However, we do offer blended learning, which is we do offer we will do a mixture of both face-to-face and online classes, depending on the program. Once the blended learning can take place, we will pursue that route.
Okay, Ms. Gopal, do you have any questions from any of your students?
Not at the moment.
Okay, another student was asking about the programs and how it is in relation to going to the University of the West Indies. So they want to know what makes it different to come to SBCS versus going to UWI. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can take that one. Yeah, definitely. The main difference here at SBCS, I mean, as the name suggests, they're the Global Learning Institute. Because well, all of our programs are mainly from the UK universities and awarding bodies. This provides the students with additional leverage in terms of applying to the workforce or even transitioning, if to outside of Trinidad as well. So you have the experience of a full degree or master's program. And with that, you get this global qualification that, further enhances the student portfolio.
Okay, and then I had another question from a student. They're asking about the fees. If they have to pay in UK dollars or something to that effect?
Well, for programs that we offer, there are local tuition fees, and there are also some programs that have foreign fees that they would have to pay. So yes, they would have to pay pound fees as well, and there are local fees as well.
Okay, and the programs, some programs are GATE approved, and on the website, do they have the ones that are GATE approved?
Right. No, well, regarding with private tertiary institutions, none of the programs are GATE approved. Right. So, however, I mean, what we do have, we have many of alliances with the banking institutions, and we are there to assist the students as well, in terms of funding. I see the question as well, local accreditation. Well, all of our programs have been reviewed and accredited by the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. So, in addition to the UK qualifications and the awarding bodies there, the ACTT locally has also, approved and us to offer the relevant programs.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Ms. Gopal?
Yes, I was about to ask entry requirements. Your program can be accessed with O levels only, some of your programs?
I can take that one. So Ms. Gopal, for most of our programs, we have different access routes. We offer access routes via CXC for some, and for others with A levels, you would also be able to enroll. So there's the option for students to enroll into programs or get onto a pathway to a degree after completing CXC, or in some instances, if they so choose to do A levels, they can also enroll after completing the A levels.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess earlier the question was asked about the difference between UWI and SPCS. I guess many of the programs, if not most, at UWI, you need that the A levels to access. So I guess in some of your areas, it seems that the O level may be sufficient.
Yeah, we are a bit more flexible in the sense that we allow an entry route for students to come directly out of CXC onto our programs. Apart from that, too, the programs, all our programs are UK based, most of them actually, and they are accredited in the UK. So that's one of the main differences between the UK qualification and the local qualification from UWI, where it's accredited. So your certificate, for example, on the computing programs, if you enroll to do the access route and lead on to the degree there, your degree will be from the University of Greenwich. So it carries a bit more weighting, as what my colleague Navin was alluding to, as opposed to our locally accredited programs. Yeah.
Excellent, because I guess in this global village that we have now, these foreign accredited universities will be more of a plus in some instances.
Definitely, it makes the students a lot more marketable. Yeah, they'd be able to compete for jobs on a more on a global scale as opposed to just local jobs alone. Yeah, that answers your question.
Definitely.
Okay.
Any questions from any of the other people looking on?
Just one last question. A student just asked what if they're planning to come back to South, the campus? Are they planning on moving back down South anytime soon?
Well, given the current situation, I mean, I don't foresee the classroom setting as it traditionally used to be returning to that level of normalcy. We were or have been already doing a lot of online, especially with the Edinburgh Business School, Harriet Watt. So we were able to transition very smoothly into offering online programs. And based on the feedback, I do think the majority of persons will be doing a lot of these classes, especially at the tertiary level, online. I mean, although we would have some facilities available probably for drop off and pick up right now, been at the South Campus. A lot of the other services that you would usually do could be done remotely. For example, payments are all being done online, registration is online, the materials is online. So it's not an unusual environment for us to operate in. I mean, we've been collaborating with universities for 34 years and we've been doing this remotely. So the transition is relatively smooth. I guess it's just the market getting accustomed to it. So in the foreseeable future, no, we may not have operations taking place there, but we have everything in place to make all the provisions available, so you wouldn't be inconvenienced or feel disadvantaged in any way.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler.
You're welcome.
And
one final question. In terms of students not having the A-levels, many of the people who come to you, do you find that they are able to cope with the program?
Yes, because what we have had over the years is a lot of people coming in from CXC, and built into our diplomas, which was accredited by ACTT. We have a lot of what we call life skill programs, right? That helps the students to probably build additional skills in areas of problem solving and math. We would do things like academic writing, study skills. All of these are additional courses. I guess in UE, we would equate them to foundation courses, right? So we offer these in our diploma that helps get the students up to the right level. And we also continue with things like that in our advanced diploma, right? Which we would usually coin as being an associate degree. In the UK, they refer to it as an advanced diploma.
Right. Wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us today. I don't know if you have any more of your presentation that you would like to.
Well, hi, Andrea. Yes, I think we actually have with us here too the director, executive director, Dr. Robin Maraj. So I'm sure he would want to say a few words as well. So open the floor.
Welcome, Mr. Maraj. Very happy to have you. We did see your earlier clip. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone.
Your audio is very low.
Can you hear me better? Can you hear better?
Still very low.
Using Teams, but I don't know. How is it now? Any improvement?
Sorry, it's still very low.
I don't know if it's on your side or if our technical team can help us.
It seems to be on his end. I can hear everyone else clearly.
Okay.
Could be on my side. Could be. I've been using Zoom for a while. We normally switch the teams for most of the meetings. But I guess another time.
But I think.
Well, it's nice of you to join us in person. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least the students would have a face to the name. So that's great. Thank you.
Do you guys have any closing words for us? The team from SBCS?
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I know the students, not sure how many, but they could always contact us if they want any further information at study. That's study at sbcs.edu.tt. I will include it in the chat as well. And on our website, www.sbcs.edu.tt, they'll get all the further information in terms of contact, all programs, the details regarding entry levels and whatnot as well.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you on another occasion, maybe in person this time.
Yes, definitely. Thanks as well for having us. Yeah.
Thank you.
When that would be. We appreciate you coming and
thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you for joining us. Ms. Gopal, you want to continue? I think we have a pause before we have the other provider.
Yes. For those looking on, now's a good time to take a short bathroom break, and we will be right back with our last presentation. I'll see you back in 5 minutes.
Hi, Mr. Ramcharan, you can put up the music slide, please.
Okay, I will just give me 1 second to put it up.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I will just give me 1 second to put it up.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I will just give me 1 second to put it up.
Good afternoon, students. We will begin in 1 moment. So just hold on 1 second. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Students, thank you for joining us We're very happy that you can be with us this afternoon as we continue our virtual career fair for the Victoria Education District. So this afternoon, we have joining us a representative from SAMS, School of Accounting and Management. We have a Dr. Nigel Fulchan. I hope I pronounced it well. And we would like to welcome him. Dr. Fulchan, welcome, and we turn over to you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Gopal. I'm actually scheduled to start at 3:15 and it's 3:18 now, so good. So we're on time, yeah?
Yes.
And I'm talking to the sixth forms today, just to confirm?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. Just to make sure that we're on the same page. Guys, welcome to our career seminar. Now, I think having this opportunity to talk to sixth formers, if I only speak about what SAM has to offer, you may leave here understanding only, about SAM and really not how to choose a proper career. And I think I will be doing you guys an injustice by just telling you a bit about SAM, right? So what I want to do in the first half of my presentation, I have 30 minutes. My first half, I wanted to speak to you all generally about how to choose a career, because a lot of sixth formers, a lot of fifth formers come into our institution and they're confused. They're not too sure which direction to take. They want to be lawyer, doctor, accountant, engineer. That's what their parents said to them. And they just want to follow on to that platform. Today, I wanted to get into different criteria. I can't go into all of it. Usually my presentation is about an hour and a half, but within the half an hour session that I do have, I will cover a bit of it. If you guys need to hear more, we could always contact me and I'll put up my contacts there as well. Ms. Gopal, is that okay? Or should I only talk about SAM?
Definitely, you can put up your contacts.
Yeah, and should I only talk about SAM, or can I go ahead to give a bit more of career guidance?
Of course you can. This is what we're here to do.
Okay, fantastic, right? I'm really happy that you said that. So let me share the screen and start, yeah? All right. Hi, guys. So I'm Dr. Nigel Fulchan. And so it's Fulchan. It's a strange name, but Nigel is the typical boring English name.
I want to mispronounce that name.
That's fine. I've been called Fulchan. I've been called many names, right? I'm not sure exactly what was the origin, but I can't find it anywhere else in the world. So guys, my email address is there, nigel@samtt.com, and my mobile number is there as well. If you call me, I will not take it. If you WhatsApp me, for sure I'll take it, right? Because if I don't know your number, I will not answer the phone. But if you WhatsApp me for any questions coming out of this, really, I will respond, right? We have two campuses, and SAM has been around for the past almost 40 years now. We were the first institution to bring a university from England into Trinidad. So we are truly an international business school. Back then, it was just the University of the West Indies. You had two choices. You either go abroad to study, or you study at the University of the West Indies. So Dr. Asaf Pral, who started the school, he brought in, again, the first university from England into Trinidad. So students no longer had to fly to the UK to get a British qualification. And why go that direction? Why go that direction? Why? Because we were looking at portability, students who are doing a degree in Trinidad that could be recognized worldwide, right? So, you could screenshot this as well. You have our campus there, our phone numbers, and our website. Really very important to get further information. So what I want to do is actually start off about, I want to run an analogy, a parallel, right? Choosing a partner for life. Now, choosing a partner for life is like choosing a career. Would you choose a partner just based on one criteria, right? Would you choose a partner just based on looks, love, probably money? I don't know, right? Would you choose a partner based on one criteria? And I would like to suggest to you guys, no. This is not a marriage counseling session, right? But you really shouldn't choose a partner based on one criteria. You look at many different criteria. And it's the same thing for your career. You cannot choose your career just based on one criteria. Oh, I love accounting. How much does it actually expose you to choosing a proper career? Does it really expose you? Give it a level of exposure. So students come to us and they tend to do what they would have done in secondary school, but not look out there to see what the market needs. So what I want to do is look at just about 3 factors when choosing a career, right? They're not all, I mean, it's not an exhaustive list. Again, I've tailor-made it just for this presentation, right? So make sure whatever you choose, you have at least an interest. Make sure you have at least an interest. Now, interest is not the same as love. You know, I may love to be an architect, but have an interest in plumbing. Understand the difference, right? Or I may love to be, you know, a contractor, but, you know, a builder, but I have some interest in being an architect or designer. So make sure whatever you have, at least you have an interest. There are a lot of people who hate Monday mornings. They have no interest in what they do, right? There are people who hate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and some have to work on Saturday as well, right? Really, because they're in a job, I mean, literally they have no interest, far less love, right? So that's one criteria. Another important criteria, employment opportunities. I mean, I don't know why is it so difficult to first find out who's going to hire me before I choose my career path. A lot of students do a degree, right? And then so after A levels, you get into university, you do a degree, and then after 3 years of your degree, you ask, who's going to hire me? Why can't you ask that question first? Find out. Any good company who would want to hire you would understand, they will have a good idea of what they're going to hire in 3 years' time. And if a company doesn't know what they're going to hire in 3 years' time, you shouldn't work for that company, because chances are they may not be around in 3 years, right? So understand the changes in the market, right? Understand employment opportunities. So students, again, shortages of skills. I like this one. So you go into the market and you see 100 vendors and they all selling tomatoes. Will tomatoes be cheap or expensive? It will be cheap because everybody's selling tomatoes. But if I go into the market and I see 100 vendors and only 5 selling tomatoes, of course it'll be expensive. It's the same for your career. If you choose what everybody has been doing over the past years or have done over the past years, and you go ahead and get qualified in that area, chances are you're not going to get paid very much, right? So you get into careers, you get into degrees that nobody's really hiring. There's no really shortage of skills, so no employment opportunity. The skills are not short. You do something that nobody really wants, and it affects this here. It affects your earning potential. Now, I tell you something what is different about SAM. And how we're different to everybody else in the public sector. I mean, UE, Costa Utility, all those schools there, and SAM. UE, Costa Utility, all those schools, they were set up to create employees. SAM was set up to create employers. We say to our students, do not work for somebody for the rest of your life and call it a career. We say to them, if you do not build your dreams, somebody's going to hire you to build theirs. And we're very clear on that. Now, if the hands that you get dealt with is that you have to work for someone, then your children really shouldn't have to, right? And really doing a degree is about changing a generation. It's not about, well, I have a degree to get a job. It's literally making sure that your children are in a better place. That's why your parents are working so hard to make sure that you are better than them, that you're in a better place than them. And again, if I look at earning potential, you know, I asked a seminar recently, if I pay you, I asked some students, you know, if I pay you $3,000 a month, take home, would you work for me for that? And they all said no. 6,000. I got some of them saying yes at 6. When I got to 9,000, I would say about 60% of them said yes, they'll work for 9,000 a month. And 12,000, I guess about 85% of them said yes. So I stopped at that point, right? And then I took that salary and I divided it into 30 days. And I said 3,000 a month divided by 30 is $100 a day. 6,200, 9,300, $12,000 a month is $400 a day. You could sell doubles and make that in half an hour. You could drive a taxi and make that in just over half day. What I mean, I'm not telling you to go sell doubles and drive a taxi, but what I'm saying to you, do not give up your skills to somebody else and build somebody else's dream. I am sure you could come off of this career seminar now and never see me again. And I'm sure you can make $100 a day just based on the skills that you have. Understand? So don't sell yourself short. Don't look at that final figure. Break it down daily and understand, can I actually do this on my own? Right? Do not get these skills to build somebody else's dream. So that's my little short part on career guidance. I would want to spend more time on this with you guys. If you want to come in and chat with us, you can, right? We could get more into it. But what about SAM? What do we offer? Now, We don't offer any local programs. And what makes us different, other schools like us that will offer foreign programs, what makes SAM different is that this is not an external program or franchise program. You're actually attending university when you come to SAM. So at the end of your degree, if you want to go up to England and graduate, you can. If you start your year 1 at SAM and you want to continue year 2 and year 3 in the university, you can, right? We are housing you here for the university. So the university comes here probably 7-8 times a year to make sure that we reflect them in the UK, right? And these are the degrees we offer. We offer degrees in management, human resource management, marketing, accounting and finance, banking and finance, international business, our law degree as well, our LLB, and applied computer science. Now, this sounds familiar, right? You'd think that, I've heard of these offered at different schools. But if you are doing CXC sciences, for example, and I'm doing CXC arts, at the end, you have a qualification from CSC and I have a qualification from CXC. But is it the same thing? It's not. What you look at is the content of what you're studying. What makes up this degree in management? What are the subject areas am I going to do? And compare that to another degree in management and see the subject areas there. That's what makes it different. And that's what makes SAM different. Now, I'll tell you all now, we are a practice-based institution, right? If it is that you like to write exams, then don't come to SAM, right? Because we want you to apply what you're learning. A lot of these subjects that you're going to do, and I'll show it to you, right? You have assignments for them because we want you to apply what you're learning. At this stage of your life, it's not about cramming and writing exams. It's about now expressing what you understand based on what you were taught. So we're going to challenge you to do consultancy reports, to actually go into organizations and do research on them, right? So again, very different, right? So let me get into it a bit. Now, let me cover Anglia Ruskin University, which is really our main partner. Anglia Ruskin University is ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. What does that really mean? I mean, I never thought in my generation I'd get a 1% in Trinidad. These are the top universities in the world, recognized worldwide. You can literally take your degree and go anywhere, right? And anywhere in the world and get a job. Now, I was told by my dad very early in my life that nobody could take my education from me. And parents tend to say that, but I never was really told what it meant. And because now I'm a total product of SAM, I did my degree there, my master's, my doctorate, I did all of it at SAM. I could now take this degree if something happens in this country and I can go anywhere in the world and can get a job. So simply, nobody can really take what I have. They can take everything I have physically, but they literally cannot take my education. So you want to make sure whatever you choose as a good career advice as well is choose something that's portable, because we don't know what is going to happen here, right? I would love for you to stay here and change here, right? But if things go wrong, you have a plan B, right? So Anglia Ruskin ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world, right? Now, entry requirements, I know you guys, most of you guys are sixth formers. England have changed requirements over a period of time where you no longer need A levels to do a lot of degrees, right? Certainly all of our degrees that we've listed, you no longer need A levels. So after five years of CXC, you come to SAM for 9 months and then you get your degree in 3 years. So you can actually short circuit A levels. Instead of spending 2 years at Cape, you spend 9 months at SAM and get into your degree, right? That's how the British universities operate. They give students a choice at the end of their, well, let's call it CSEC, O levels, right? They give them a choice. Do you want to do a certificate program to get into your degree and your certificate is 9 months, or do you want to go into A levels? Most students stay into A levels for, well, various reasons, but two popular ones would be, well, I want to continue to play cricket and football for my school, or I'm participating in something school-based and I need to get into A's, or I'm trying to get a scholarship, right? But a lot of our students are now coming in at the O-level stage, doing a 9-month degree, right? Doing a 9-month certificate, sorry, and then getting into their degree, right? But you guys are already at A levels. So if you look at my slide there, straight from A levels, you get, or CAPE, let's call it CAPE, you get straight into your degree and you finish in 3 years. Your bachelor's degree is 3 years. And again, I could go into more detail. Time doesn't permit, but I'll go into more detail when you come in. Mature entry. Now, if it is that you had the worst time ever during writing exams, and you don't get through with your A levels for some reason, you could still come chat with us. I mean, education is not limited to a classroom. If you have worked for 2 years, right, England sees that as entry requirements into all their degrees. So you can get in with your mature entry. So if you've been working, over the period while you're going to school, helping out your parents in their business, I mean, they'll tell you you're helping out, but you're really working. you have some service learning over the last 2 years, or over a period. It can add up to 2 years, in 2 months, 3 month times. Once it adds up to 2 years, it exempts you from A levels and you get straight into your degree, right? So even if you don't get straight A levels, guys, do not repeat O's, do not repeat A's without seeing us first, right? And we can, and when I say see us first, I don't mean come to SAM. I mean, see us first and find out, is this the route that I need to take to get to my qualification? Because why do you do A's? Why do you do O levels? Why do you do CSEC and CAPE? The idea is to actually, it's an avenue to get into your degree. But England they've dropped down a lot of the barriers to get in, right? So now it's no longer the only route. In my time, because I'm kind of old now, in my time, the only way you could have gotten into a degree is via A levels. Things have now changed. So if you don't have a good time during A's, once it's finished, come in and see us, and then we can talk to you about how, even if we don't offer the programs, we could tell you where to go and how to get it, right? Now, take a look at our degrees. This is our degree in management. Now, we think it's unfair to our students, to any student, right? We think it's unfair to any student signing up for a degree and they have to finish whatever they start. Because how do you know if you like management if you never really do it before? Okay, I kind of did some of it in CAPE, right? But I want you guys to take a look at year one. You see that the word is written in green there, right? This is our degree in management. I'm going to switch the page now. Take a look here. You're going to see here our degree in human resource management. Again, look at year one. Year one is exactly the same as the degree in management. Take a look at our degree here in marketing, right? Year one is exactly the same. Our degree in, this looks like accounting and finance. Year one, exactly the same, right? I get into banking and finance, year one, exactly the same. International business, year one, exactly the same. You guys seeing it, right? Year one is exactly the same for all our degrees. So if you go back now, let me go back to management, right? If you're not too sure what to do and you sign up for management, in your year one, you will cover international business. You will cover HR here with organizational behavior. You do a bit of law. You'll cover finance and management and marketing, not just marketing, but digital business. At the end of year one, you could say to us, you know what? I signed up for management, but I really love HR. I want to switch my degree. You could switch after year one. Or I want to switch to accounting and finance. You could switch to accounting and finance. Or I think banking and finance is the direction I need to go because of cryptocurrency and all these different things that are happening now. I need to switch to banking and finance. You could switch after your year one, right? You could switch to international business. But guess what? If you're confused and you're not too sure which one to choose because you like everything, we have room for confused people as well. You can actually do your degree in management, which really is a mixture of all of them, right? So in other words, when you're coming into SAM, come in with an open mind. Sign up for any one of our degrees, but really get a taste of it all in year one and then decide your career path, right? So don't, yes, come in with an intention of going through one career path, but come in with that open mind and get a taste of it all, right? If you look at HR, and year two is different. Year two now becomes different. What is human resource management about? I mean, you're training, and you will have to do a bit more law if you're doing human resource management because you'll be hiring and firing, right? So you need to do a bit more employment law, employee relations, gets into like trade unions and stuff like that. You will have to, improving HR performance gets into training and development. But look at these other subjects. You will cover business innovation. You will cover the entrepreneurial journey. You're going to cover project management. So what you're doing literally is getting a broad qualification in HR. You could work in any part of HR. You don't have to specialize in one part of HR. It's a very broad degree still, right? If you look at our degree in marketing, what is marketing? Find out what people want and supply it, or come out with something that nobody really needs and make them want it. That's the two sides of marketing, right? Again, we will train you on the entrepreneurial journey, because remember the intention. We do not want you to work for somebody for the rest of your life and call it a career. We want you to do it on your own. Give up your weekend. Even if you're working during the week, give up your weekend until it becomes your own, right? You will have to cover project management. You will have to cover business innovation. So there's some common subjects even in year two. But then when you get into understanding the consumer, you won't cover that in HR, because understanding the consumer is very much a marketing area, right? Why people color flavor right? You get to understand retail and experiential marketing, right? We're the only school that's doing business-to-business marketing. And let me explain. So retail marketing is selling to a customer, right? You set up a retail store, online, offline, you sell to a customer. But business-to-business marketing is where you sell to another business that sells to a customer. So you're bringing in products and you're selling to Superfarm that sells your product for you. We're the only school that's really doing business-to-business marketing as part of your marketing degree. Most schools, when they do marketing, they tend to do retail marketing. We cover both ends, and that's what you're going to cover with retail and experiential marketing, right? Of course, you're going to get into marketing communication, which gets into online, Facebook, and communicating using, online and offline communication, right? So you get into billboards, advertising, public relations. It's all within marketing communication, right? Just checking my time. And you go further on. Again, if you notice, year one is the same, but look at accounting and finance. Now, a lot of people who want to do accounting come to us and say, do you all offer ACCA? Now, Sam introduced ACCA to Trinidad. We were the first school to offer ACCA, CIMA, AAT, all those different accounting qualifications. But the pass rates for ACCA are very, very, very low, right? 20% of the people will pass, right? So what we have done, we've brought in a degree here in accounting and finance. What's the pass rate for a degree in accounting and finance? Probably 99% of people who start finish within the 3 years. So they finish with a degree in accounting and finance. And guess what? It exempts you from year 1 and 2 of ACCA. All you do is 4 subjects. 4 subjects, let me make sure that my fingers are on the camera, right? You do 4 subjects and you get ACCA as well. So literally in 3 years, you get your degree, right? And you write 4 more subjects and you have another qualification. You also have ACCA, right? So students find that this is a better route than actually going through ACCA, spending 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years trying to finish ACCA, when they can come to SAM, finish their degree in 3 years, and just do 4 subjects and get ACCA as well, right? Now, this we're introducing banking and finance. We introduced it last year. We reintroduced it. We were really the only institution offering the Chartered Institute of Banking when we started almost 40 years ago. We reintroduced banking really because what's been happening, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up to date with what is happening with currency and how currencies are changing, and Bitcoin and everything else. So the banking sector itself is changing, right? The way we purchase is changing. Online banking, all of those things are now changing, right? So we are now seeing more and more this attractive banking. A lot of students want to get more into banking, right? Not necessarily to work for the bank, right? But they want to get that level of competence so that they could go into an organization, any organization, and speak that banking language, right? In any organization. So you're not just limited to working in the bank with a degree with banking and finance, because you are also doing finance. You're not just doing pure banking. So you can work in the insurance industry, you work literally anywhere, right? International business, again, we are seeing a major shift again from just pure business management into international business. And if you look at the subject areas that are different, you see international intercultural management, right? That subject really trains you to understand how to manage different cultures. I mean, if you look at Trinidad alone, you'd see that we have loads of different cultures from around the world that are coming in. I mean, you'd say, okay, we have more Venezuelans in here now, I guess, than Chinese and Syrians. And if you work out that balance, literally, we have a lot of different people here. Do we manage every single culture the same, right? And I have an interesting statistic. Let's say, based on my best guesstimate, let's say we have about 70,000 Venezuelans in Trinidad. What's the population of Tobago? 50,000? So we have more Venezuelans in Trinidad than Tobagonians in Tobago. That just blows my mind to understand that we are now becoming so much of a global type of country that we are integrating a lot of different cultures. And we need to understand how to manage different cultures. And you will cover that in international business. Guys, so you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, don't choose your career based on one criteria, right? I covered that earlier. And I'm saying, even when you're coming into SAM, don't choose your career path until the end of year 1, because year 1 is exactly the same. You're going to get a taste of it all, and then you're going to decide your career path. Let's move on. Of course, we have our law degree as well. Now, traditional law degrees, you only write exams, not at SAM. At SAM, a lot of these subjects here are assignment-based as well, right? So you're not just going to cram and write law. We want you to apply what you're doing. We want you to do practical assignments, right? Another exam is, right? Because we're not just going to shove theory into you and say, go regurgitate theory and write it down on a piece of paper and call it an exam, right? We want application, because when you get into the job market, they want you to apply what you've learned. And they're not going to hire you to go practice at the organization. They want to make sure that you have actually practiced within your degree. So our law degree, it's actually the least expensive. All our degrees are the least expensive in the country. And you know, I guess every person who's coming through the career seminars will tell you they have the best programs and the best facility. I would encourage you all to leave your house and go take a walk, right? Go visit these places, visit all the institutions, right? That you think that you're seeing today. Visit them. Take a look at their campus, right? Take a look at the North and South campus. Take a look at their campus. Come into Salmon, look at all North and South campus. I'm at the North campus if you want to visit, and I can give you a tour as well. And I can show you evidence that we have the best degrees in the country. And you'll get to see the facilities as well, right? And you'd understand that even where all law students sit, really it's the best facility in the country, right? It's the least expensive, but really it doesn't reflect that. It's the best programs, the least expensive, right? And I'll get into payment plans and stuff like that. But the point I want to make it with law is that it is not just exams, right? You will have to do practical assignments. You'll have to do some presentations and stuff like that. All of those things count for your marks, right? Not just one exam, right? Next here. Now, if you guys are interested in computing, right? Again, remember, we're saying we're a practice-based institution. Take a look at our computing degree. I mean, it's a lot of words in there, but let me explain, right? If you look at your year one, right? In year one, you are gonna go into the lab and build computers. You're building computers, building networks, building websites, e-commerce websites with shopping carts and credit card transactions so you can buy and sell online, right? Again, you will have to build computers, you will have to build networks, you will have to now build websites, and not just websites, Notice here, e-business, e-commerce websites with shopping carts and stuff so people can buy and sell online. I mean, that's just year one. Are those skills needed today? Of course, those skills are needed today, right? You know, so you look at just web design alone and consider how much you could charge for a website. I mean, a good consulting company will charge you 7, 8, 10,000, 12, 15. Sam paid about probably 60,000 for their website, right? But a good consulting company would charge that. You're a student. If you charge $5,000 to a company to do a website, 10 websites is $50,000. And I'm sure some of you wanted to work for me for $6,000 earlier. Again, do not sit on your skill. Do not build somebody else's dream, right? When you're getting the skills, apply it. And you know it's even better? Find out who in your class is really good at designing websites, charge a company $5,000 and give that person $1,000 to build your website for you. You make $4,000 without doing anything. Isn't that what employers do? That's what employers do. Employers hire the skill and they will never pay you what your value is, right? They charge more for your skill than you're actually getting for your skill, right? So, I mean, look, I want you all to start to shift the way you think, right? And see things differently. Now, in year 2 of our degree in computing, again, we're going to get into dynamic websites, you're getting into animations, how to animate your website and stuff. You're developing databases online, right? So you get into a program, Microsoft SQL, that will teach you to develop databases online. I mean, skills that all companies, every single company in this country requires. You're gonna, sorry, let me just go back a bit. You're gonna get that in all your degree in computing. Your final year is really interesting. Your final year gets into ethical hacking and countermeasures, right? Now, you think that those two don't go together, right? Hacking and ethics, right? But there's sometimes your own system, you're locked out of your own system, and you need to understand how to hack your own system, right? We are not going to train you to hack other people's system, please. Right? Please don't touch our computers and hack our computers. But the reality is you will have to learn how to, right? So what's important as well, you will also learn how to prevent hackers from getting into your networks. Because the worst thing you want happening is that you have now a network where you're selling products online and people have access to your banking information and stuff like that. So they will train you to build firewalls. Now, cloud computing, major era right now. A lot of stuff is not being saved on your computers anymore. They're saved on the cloud. So we are going to train you guys on how to manage the cloud, right? And of course, image processing gets into like facial recognition and fingerprint recognition and stuff like that. All very practical and modern contemporary subjects that the industry needs right now, right? Compare these subjects to other degrees in computing, and you'll see how far ahead you are. right? You could sit in front of an employer and say, look, I've built computers, I've built websites, e-commerce websites with Shopify. I understand how to manage cloud, right? I could hack and I could prevent hackers. You know, you're getting many skills in computing. I could build databases. You're not just specializing in one area. You're getting a broad qualification in information systems. You could literally work at any company in the country, right? And not just in the country. These degrees, again, open the doors to global business for you. So you're no longer limited to choosing here, right? I'll just check my time. So quickly, every single student that attends our school, I want you guys to try this after I finish this presentation, right? Go on to lynda.com. You'll see there are over 16,000 short courses there. I mean, from anything, any short course you could think of, from software development, web development, business, photography. It gets into architecture, using Excel, Word, PowerPoint, events management, anything at all. I mean, I say anything at all with a pinch of salt. It's, I mean, loads of different stuff in there, right? Any student who attends SAM will get access to all 16,000 short courses free, absolutely free. So in your 3 years spending at SAM to get your degree, you can knock off 10, 12 short courses if you want and get certificates, not from SAM or from some local institution. You're gonna get a short course certificate from LinkedIn, and you all understand who LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is the largest professional database, equivalent to Facebook, but in terms of professionals, right? Of course, Facebook has a lot more people, but LinkedIn, a lot more professionals, right? Use LinkedIn. You're gonna get a professional certificate from LinkedIn just by attending SAM and doing these short courses online, free in your free time, right? So that's a bonus that we give students get. What makes us different? And I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes just telling you what makes us different. If any subject giving you a problem, any subject at our institution giving you a problem, you could book your tutor one-on-one. It's free. You don't have to pay us for extra help. You see, pass rates mean a lot to us. We don't want you to just start. We want you to finish. You're no good to us if you just start. We don't show off people who are registering. We show off graduates. And if you fail, nobody wants to come to our institution. So we make sure you could get that one-on-one help. You don't have to go outside for extra lessons or anything. You just talk to your program manager, you book a tutor one-on-one, and you sort out any issue you need to sort out, right? You know, we have also 2 counselors on board. You can book your counselors. Counselors on North and South Campus. I mean, sometimes, you know, academics giving you problems, but it's not really academics that giving you problems. It's something that is outside of academics giving you an academic problem, right? And you may wish to talk to a counselor. We have a couple of counselors that you could chat with as well. Look, guys, we have payment plans. I have their payment plans, but really, I can't send you a payment plan. We will say to you, we'll give you some basic direction in terms of how to pay, when to pay, but really, we leave it up to you. We say to you, tell us how you can manage to pay this. And we will work with you to make sure and fit that within a reasonable amount of time, right? So come into us and say, look, I wanted to come to SAM. I understand the cost of coming to SAM. Can I split it into 3 payments or 4 payments or 5 payments? Just let us know. We're not unreasonable as an institution. We're not a bank, so we don't charge interest. If you spread that payment over a period of time, no issue there at all. We will not charge interest. You get to pay the same thing as somebody who's paying in full. All right. Of course, I think we have come to be known now of entering from CXC to degrees. So a lot of our degrees, you no longer need A levels to enter. Again, if you enter with A levels, because you guys are all A levels, you finish your degree in 3 years. People who leave CXC will finish in 3 years and 9 months, because remember, they have to do that 9-month certificate, right? So you guys already finishing up, I would say finish up your A levels, don't stop, right? Once you're finished, come in and you can get your degree in 3 years. Now, one of the things at SAM here is that we will never treat you equal. You are never treated equally at SAM. Take a look at that diagram I have there. We treat you equitably, right? Because if I treat you equally, people learn differently. All our learners are different. All our students are different, right? It's our tutors' jobs really to find out how you guys doing, and we'll adapt that learning style to ensure that everybody we're not just going to teach the slowest person in class, but the fastest person in class will understand as well. If we treat everybody equally, if we lecture the same way for the same group of students all the time, it's like the diagram here on your left, right? If you look at the diagram on your left, isn't everybody there got the same level of box, right? The box height is the same. A small man can't see anything. You have to look through a crack door, look at the game, right? But if we understand that people learn differently and we treat you differently in terms of this, right? Everybody gets the C. So we will never treat you equally at SAM, right? So another reason why we're different, we're international business school. We're international business, law, computing, right? The British tutors, the university, they come 7-8 times a year. Since COVID, I think I've been speaking to them probably twice a week since March last year, right? Via Zoom. But they are here 7-8 times a year. They come in for graduation and stuff like that. We get to go up. Our tutors are all trained by them. They hire our tutors. Really, you get a good international experience coming to SAM, right? They all come in for conferences as well. We do conferences. We host conferences. We go up there for conferences. I have a little bit there about our facilities. And I'm wrapping up now, but if you take a peek at the facility, guys, please, I want you to come in and see it, right? I can't describe this thing as much as you. If you see it, it will blow your mind. I promise you, right? We have at our North and South campus now well over 800 computers, right? All with internet access. You'll see there, again, more of the facility, right? This all makes us different, very modern, contemporary facilities, right? All our chairs swivel, our desks have wheels on them, so we can move around the classroom as much as you can. All the boards are digital. Well, I don't know why we're showing you the restrooms, but we have fantastic restrooms as well, right? I mean, it can match any 5-star hotel easily, right? Our facility, right? That was the female, there's the male restrooms. So you get to see our restrooms on the presentation. So again, what makes us different? Because these guys come to our institution. If you take a look at some of the logos, and we did this like about probably 14 years ago, no, 12, probably about 10 years ago, right? And these companies, they all send their students to SAM, right? We have students from every single sector in this country. In the government right now, in parliament, it's probably about 8 of them, 9 of them were SAM graduates, right? They all come to SAM, the children come to SAM, right? If you look at, we have the energy sectors with us, the airlines, the hotels, you know, the military, air guard, they all come to SAM, right? We are the largest private business school in the country, right? So they all come. And I'll show you here graduation. There's a sample of our graduating class in 2011, right? This is 1/3 of our students who graduated that year. So if you multiply this picture by 3, you get an idea of our student population in 2011. And we're much larger in 2021. The only reason we still show this picture that is 10 years old, it's the last time we had 1 graduation ceremony. Now we need to have multiple because of the size of the institution, right? So we're not a small institution. The university will come down and for graduation is at Hyatt actually right there. And we host multiple graduations at the Hyatt. And they will give you your certificate there as well. So it's either you go up to England and graduate. It's much more fun to stay here because they fly in. The Vice Chancellor is here, Dr. Crowley is here. The whole team is here. And we make a big fuss about it, right? So it's really a fantastic time to, it's a good closure as well, you know, which leads me to questions, right? So I think I hit it just on time.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much, Dr. Fuljan. We do have some questions coming from our students. So the first question is SAM GATE approved? Yeah, is SAM's GATE approved?
Okay, so GATE is government assistance for tuition expenses. So GATE would have covered only tuition. For the past 5 years, no private school is now GATE approved, right? So what we have done, we've actually taken that tuition and break it up into multiple payments. So students would not have to have the burden of paying all of it up front. But private schools are no longer GATE funded. That's like 6 years now, right?
Okay, and the second question that they asked was for the cost, do you have to pay or are any of the exams in UK pounds?
Yes, all the British university requires that you pay their pounds, right? Again, you could take a payment plan for the pounds as well. You don't have to pay all of it up front, right? So all our fees, and they're the least expensive in the country. So you could break this up into multiple parts. Now, so far the bank is once they get a letter of acceptance from SAM, the bank is actually are giving our students the pounds. So there's no real issue with getting foreign exchange to pay the pounds once we get that letter from us.
Okay, and my last question from the students is, what are the 9-month certificate programs that you all offer?
Okay, so it's 1 9-month certificate. It's actually a certificate in business and law. So what it does, it exposes the students now to a bit of business and law, right? So they get a better understanding whether they should do the law degree or stick to business, right? So it gives them that exposure. I mean, you could complete it in 7 to 9 months, really, and it replaces A levels.
Okay, great. Thank you. Ms. Gopal, do you have any questions? Or Ms. Ali?
I do. Lovely presentation, Dr. Fulchan. Like,
Thank you very much.
No. Okay, so I want to ask about your law degree or the law program. Can you practice? Because I know it's British affiliated. Is it for practicing in Trinidad and Tobago, or are we practicing abroad?
Okay, very good question. Now, the next stage after you finish your law degree, any law degree, let's say you go to the University of West Indies, right? Or SAM, and you do your law degree, you still cannot practice. You need to make one more step. You need to go to Hugh Wooding Law School to get a practicing certificate. It's called an LEC, right? It's a license to practice at Hugh Wooding. Or you do the British equivalent to it. It's called an LPC. You do that in 1 year, right? So you can do that British equivalent LPC in 1 year, and you can do it online. So you don't actually have to attend for 2 years at Hugh Wooding. And you work in a local company for 6 months, and you get called to the bar, right? So there's one more step after you finish your degree. You need to do that 1 year program, right? It's that LPC in England, or 2 years at Hugh Wooding, LEC. So a lot of students are using the shortcut version, right? Doing the LPC in England and working for 6 months and then practicing, right? There's an automatic entry for UE students that get straight in to Hugh Wooding. Foreign students have to apply and they get in, but the LPC, it's really straightforward. They just get in as well.
Also, what about internships and job opportunities? If as the school is British affiliated, I know we're down here. Is it possible to utilize, well, I mean, you could utilize the degrees, the certification across there, but are you all affiliated with any organizations to have internships or short-term jobs?
A next fantastic question. Remember that slide I showed you guys with all the different logos, right, of people who attend SAM? Because these guys send their staff members there and they pay for them as well, right? They understand the quality of education, right? A lot of the HR people have done their HR degree in Trinidad at SAM, because we were the only school at offering a full bachelor's degree in HR for years, right? We were the only school in the country. So a lot of the HR professionals and teachers as well, principals, would have come in and do an HR degree, and they are sending their staff now to SAM. Now, because they know that the quality of the education at SAM, they will send us job opportunities all the time, right? Because they know students want to get some experience, and they know they could take advantage by paying them very little, right? So they pay them little. I'm being upfront, I'm not going to hide it. They're going to pay them little, but the students want to get some experience, right? But Ms. Ali, I'll tell you something, and I don't want to stress this. I want to stress this as much as I can. When a student goes through the experience at SAM, you'd find that all of their tutors will push them to open their own business, right? We will always and continuously push them to do something on their own, even while they're waiting for a job, even if they're on a job. We know of no student who complete their degree at SAM within the first 6 months that don't have a job. It's easy to run our business, find out what the market wants and provide it. How difficult is that? So, you know, what we have done in the past, we're a school of accounting and management. You notice I've been saying SAM all the time, because for a long time, we stopped accounting. We literally had no accounting programs at SAM because we were producing too many accountants. We stopped law. We were the only school that's doing law. You could have done law 100% in Trinidad. Back then in UE, you could have done year 1 in Trinidad and had to go to Barbados to do year 2 and 3. SAM was the only school that you could have done law 100% in Trinidad. And we dropped law. We dropped law because we were producing too many lawyers, right? And the market couldn't hold it. Now the market needs it. So we are reintroducing a lot of different things. So a big part of my job is what we say at SAM. We position ourselves now to take advantage of future changes. So we look at to see where the changes are in the market, and we bring programs to meet that need. We don't wait till the need comes and then start to look for programs, right? So you'll see that portfolio of programs change all the time. So probably next year, a year after, you may see us adding or taking out stuff again. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good.
Thank you, Dr. Fulchan. Excellent presentation. And I particularly love the point about self-employment as a viable option. I think sometimes people overlook that. You know, they think that they must just be looking for a job. So on behalf of the Ministry of Education and Student Support Services Division, We really want to say a big thank you from all of us here and the students whom we serve. Looking forward to meeting you in person sometime when the situation allows, and you meeting our students as well.
I can't wait, because I wish I could have spent less time on SAM and more time on how to choose a career, because a lot of the students really don't understand a lot of the criteria to use when choosing a career. And we will, I mean, we can come into any school that you want to and talk to them about how to choose their career.
Excellent.
And sorry if I was, Ms. Gopal, you wouldn't believe I haven't spoken this fast in my entire life. So I try to squeeze as much as I can in. I hope it was you guys you all understand everything I said. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. We would love for you to attend our school.
Somebody on our team who is usually a fast talker too. Okay. Bye everyone.
I'm just gonna put in there my email address one more time if you guys need to contact me. Okay. Right? It's there. I'm putting it there for everyone. So thanks again, guys, on behalf of Sam. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Students, join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. for another session. Bye, everyone.